My youngest grandson is 7 years old, and last week he asked his mom something that shattered my world completely. His mother replied simply, "He's Daddy's daddy." The boy nodded like it all made sense and went back to his toys. When my son told me this story over the phone, I felt something crack inside my chest. I haven't slept properly for 3 nights since then, staring at the ceiling, asking myself the same brutal question. How did I become a stranger to my own blood? How did this beautiful child grow up not knowing who I am? Friends, write in the comments where you're watching us from. And hit like if you want to know what's the most surprising and unexpected part of this story. You see, when kids live in another city, you tell yourself distance is the enemy. But that's a lie we comfort ourselves with. The real enemy is our own passivity. Our stubborn belief that relationships just happen naturally, like magic. I remember last Christmas. There we were, the whole family, gathered around the dining table. Everyone talking at once. The adults were discussing politics and work drama, while the kids sat there like little prisoners poking at their food. My grandsons had their phones hidden under the table, probably texting friends about how boring Grandpa's house was. Their responses were polite but hollow. "Fine, Grandpa." "Yes, Grandpa." "Okay, Grandpa." Then they'd drift away like smoke. I told myself they were just shy, that they'd warm up eventually. But deep down I knew the truth. We were strangers, sharing the same last name, going through the motions of being a family without the connection. For years I waited for them to come to me first, to show interest in their old grandfather's stories. I had this foolish notion that respect for elders was automatic, that children would naturally seek out their grandparents' wisdom. What a naive fantasy that turned out to be. Kids today have YouTube, Netflix, and video games. Why would they need Grandpa? The brutal reality hit me during that phone call. I had become irrelevant in their young lives, a background character. But here's what I discovered, and this might shock you. The problem wasn't their generation or modern technology. The problem was me. And every grandfather who thinks love should flow upward from children to elders automatically. Think about it logically. Why would a 7-year-old call someone they barely know just to chat? What would they even talk about? Their world of Pokemon cards and playground drama versus our world of medications and memories? The generational gap isn't just about age. It's about completely different universes of experience and interest. I realized I had been making the classic grandfather mistake, talking at them instead of talking with them. Every interaction was an interrogation disguised as care. Grades, behavior, eating habits, future plans. When I was your age, we didn't have video games. We made our own fun with sticks and stones. We think we're sharing wisdom, but we're actually building walls between their world and ours, brick by brick. Here's another painful truth I had to face. I knew absolutely nothing about what actually mattered to them. Their favorite songs, their heroes, their fears, their dreams. I was completely clueless about their inner worlds. I dismissed their passions as just phases or silly kid stuff, without understanding that these things shape their identity. Would you want a relationship with someone who considered everything important to you to be meaningless noise? The answer was painfully obvious, but my pride had been protecting me from seeing it clearly until now. That night after the phone call, I sat in my armchair and did something I hadn't done in decades. I tried to remember what it felt like to be 7 years old. Curious about the world, but unsure who to trust. I remembered my own grandfather. A stern man who spoke in lectures and expected silent obedience in return. He loved me, I'm sure, but he never showed it in ways that a child could understand or appreciate. I had unconsciously become him, well-meaning but completely disconnected from the hearts I wanted to reach most. Because if I was the problem, then I could also be the solution. I just had to find the courage to change everything. I thought they would reach out when they grew up, but they never did. They became people with their own interests, and Grandpa wasn't part of them. The fault lies in nobody building the bridge between us. Bridges only build themselves in movies, friends. In real life, someone has to pick up the hammer. Friends, write in the comments where you're watching us from, and hit like if you want to know what's the most surprising and unexpected part. So what do we grandparents do wrong? Let me tell you about the mistakes that push our grandchildren away. Mistake number 1. We wait for them to call or visit us. The initiative should come from us. We're the adults here. A child won't call just to chat. They don't know what to talk about with Grandpa. Mistake number 2. We talk about our stuff, not theirs. How's school? What did you eat? Listen to your mom. The child feels like you're not interested in them. You want a report card, so they shut down completely. Mistake number 3. We compare them to ourselves at their age. Back in the war, an 8-year-old can't process that. All they hear is, you're not good enough. Mistake number 4. We know absolutely nothing about their world. Their games, their music, their heroes mean nothing to us. To us, it's all nonsense. To them, it's their entire life. But here's what this grandfather did to change everything. Step 1. He called his grandson himself. But he didn't ask about school. He asked about his favorite game. He asked him to explain it and listened for 20 whole minutes without interrupting. The grandson was in complete shock. Grandpa wants to hear about Minecraft? Step 2. He started writing them real letters on actual paper. Short stories from his own childhood, but funny ones, not preachy lectures. The kids read them, keep them, show them to their friends at school. Step 3. He offered to do things together. He told his grandson, I don't know how to make videos on my phone. Can you teach me? The boy taught Grandpa for 3 hours straight, and he was so proud to be the teacher for once. Step 4. He visits on regular days, not just holidays. He picks them up from school, takes them to cafes, just talks. Real conversations without any special occasion or agenda. And you know what happened? Everything started changing. The older grandson called him last week, completely out of the blue, just to chat. He told Grandpa a joke he'd heard at school. The younger one drew a picture of Grandpa in art class. The assignment was, draw your hero. This man told me, I cried when I saw that drawing, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Grandchildren don't owe us their love. We have to give them a reason. With our time, our genuine interest in who they are. Start today, right now. Pick up your phone, call them, and don't ask about grades or homework. Ask them, what made you happy today? What excited you? And then listen. Really listen. Don't plan your response. That listening, that's the love they'll remember forever. Because children don't remember what you bought them. They remember how you made them feel. They remember if you cared enough to enter their world. This grandfather learned that it's never too late to build that bridge. His 7-year-old grandson now knows exactly who Grandpa is. And more importantly, Grandpa finally knows who his grandson is too.